Good morning. So I thought today, because I have the day off, that it'd be kind of fun to do a little diabetes vlog, kind of a day in the life. Hopefully should be kind of boring. I don't have anything exciting to do, like changing pump sites, or my sensor doesn't get changed until Friday. So this is just kind of what I do on a normal day, I guess, when I'm at home. I'm not going to take you to work with me because I work with kiddos, and so I can't really, film them or whatever. So first things first, I've already technically done my morning blood sugar check because I had to calibrate my sensor, but I am about to eat, so this is what I do to prepare to eat every day. Alright, so this is my glucose meter, glucometer, whatever you want to call that. So I first get a strip out of the bottle, the vial, whatever you want to call it. Put that in there. I sometimes don't use the alcohol pad, but I'll do it for sake of the vlog this morning. So I'm going to use this finger right here. If you're squeamish about blood, this might be the time to skip things over. So the way that you're supposed to do this, if I were, quote, good diabetic all the time, is that you wipe your finger off with the alcohol swab, get a drop of blood, wipe the first drop, then check with the second drop. So now we'll put that, sorry, this is all new to me. Drop of blood right there. And then we will wait for the number to come up. So we are at 141 this morning. I think that's backwards for you. So we are in range today, at least for now. So next thing that I do after I take that out of there is I get out my pump. I'm going to have a bowl of cereal this morning. Oh, hey, so my pump, this is what we call a unicorn in the diabetes world, when the number on your meter and the number on your pump are the same. So that's kind of cool. So anyway, I'm going to have a bowl of cereal this morning. So what I do is I go into the pump, I select bolus right here, then I enter in my blood sugar, which was 141. Not too high. And then I enter in the number of carbs that I'll be eating or consuming or what have you. I'm having Life cereal today. So 3/4 cup of Life cereal is 25 grams of carbs. So I'll enter in 25, but first I'll move down here. And we'll go back. I'm also going to have a banana, which bananas can change depending on the size. That one's a little bit larger, so I'm going to enter in 33 grams for the banana. So I usually just count up 3 and then add the 30 after that, because math is hard. And then I also need to count for the milk, and I usually do about 7 grams for the milk. So that puts us at 65 grams right there. And then I click this little middle button right here. And next, then it will ask me if I want to deliver the bolus. A bolus is the insulin that you take for, no, I do not need to calibrate the sensor. I already did that this morning. And then sometimes I'll do a reminder to check my BG a little bit later. So there we go. A bolus is what you take to cover for food or to correct for high blood sugar. So on a pump, which is what I use, I get a basal dose, which is just kind of a continuous flow of insulin throughout the day that changes based on what my blood sugar levels are reading. A bolus is what I take for, like I said, if I'm going to eat some carbs or something, and then, so it's just kind of, I like to think of it as like my base dose, basal, base, and my bonus, bolus, bonus. Other people explain it a little bit differently, but that's just the way I like to think about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up with breakfast. Okay, so I figured I would show you how I measure out. It's really not that complicated, but certain things, because carb counting is so important to diabetes and its management, I figured I'd show you that I don't just dump a bunch of cereal into a bowl. So I'm going to put in 3/4 of a cup of cereal, so that's 1. And 2. And 3. So there we go. I don't tend to measure out the milk after, 20 some years of this. You kind of figure out how much you need and how many carbs are in something. I probably should. I know that I don't use an entire cup of milk for cereal. 1 cup of milk is 13 grams of carbs. Milk, for some reason, I don't know if it's the sugars or the protein in it, but milk often raises my blood sugars quite a bit. And so whenever I have cereal, I always end up with high blood sugars throughout the day, or at least first thing in the morning. So there's the bowl of cereal and the banana. There we go. There it is. All right. There is the bowl of cereal. So that's breakfast this morning plus the banana. So hey, I'm back. I was getting a little bit hungry, so I'm going to have a little snack. So I'm just going to show you what I do for that, which is basically the same thing as what I do for any other time of day that I want to eat. So I just washed my hands so I can check my blood sugar and not use the alcohol swab. So for my snack, I'm going to have a package of one of these Sargento balanced breaks. There's 13 grams of carbs in a pack. Maybe, there we go. Okay. And I don't know if you can actually see that or not, because I think it might be backwards for you on the camera. So anyway, 13 grams of carbs, 8 grams of protein. It's just some nuts and cheese and some dried fruit. So we'll go ahead and test. Okay, so my sensor just went off. It's reading low, so I'm going to go ahead and test and see if it's actually low and if I need to treat. So This way you can see kind of what I do for a low blood sugar. So things that can make blood sugar go low would be too much insulin, mostly too much insulin. It could also be a result of exercise, but that is not the case today. Well, we're gonna have to do that one again. Okay. So klutziness can sometimes be a symptom or a sign of low blood sugar. So we'll just go ahead and use that same blood drop because I haven't wiped it yet. All right, we'll try again. All right. Let's see where we're at here. 71, so technically in range, but a little bit on the low side. So I'm gonna go ahead and treat. The nice thing about the pump that I use is that I don't have to use too many carbs to treat a low. I can usually get by with like 3 or 4 like gummies or fruit snacks or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat, and then I'll be back later maybe with another test just to show how that works in just a little bit. So otherwise I'll come back around dinner time. Okay, so my little camera doohickey that attaches to my phone just died, so that's charging at the moment. I did just wash my hands a minute ago, so fingers are clean. All right, we'll go ahead and that might have been the same finger we did this morning, but that's okay. So just tiny little blood drop goes in there, and then we'll wait for that to come up. 128. All right, I'm looking at it backwards. I've realized after watching some of this footage from today that you are not seeing it backwards. It just, that's how it looks when I look at it. Okay, so the pump says 113. So we are not 3 times the charm for a unicorn today, which is okay. If you hadn't noticed, I am not on a low carb diet, and I'm okay with that. Other diabetics choose to do more low carb, high fat, high protein, and that is completely fine. I just really love my carbs. Okay, so now that it's lunchtime, I'm gonna go ahead and select yes to calibrate my sensor, just to make sure things are doing okay. And I'm gonna say yes, I want a BG reminder in an hour and a half, just because I'm eating some things I have not had before and don't know how they're going to affect my blood sugars. Anyhow, insulin is pumping as usual, and I'm gonna go ahead and eat, and I'll be back sometime later today. So just checking in real quick, I just got off the phone with Medtronic, the company who supplies my pump and all of my other supplies like reservoirs and the infusion sets, my sensors, and all of those things, the transmitter that transmits blood sugars to my pump. And so I owe them money from last year from actually a couple things, and I'm not going to give the amounts out, but I just got me to thinking about, like, not only is the insulin so expensive, especially if you're not insured, but then you add in all of the other, I don't know, like the pharmacy benefit managers and things like that, that somehow end up increasing the prices for insulin. But then if you're a diabetic who's on the pump, the cost of that if you don't have decent insurance. And so thankfully I got set up on a payment plan that I'll be on for the next 24 months. More money to spend on this disease that never ends. So yeah, anyway, put in a new order, and now we'll have to, since I'm on a different insurance plan this year, I'll have to wait and see what they cover, because for some reason when you go on to an insurance company's website, they're not super open about things like durable medical equipment, which kind of sucks, because it'd be nice to know what I'm getting into and how much I'm gonna need to have when my new supplies come here in a few weeks. So anyway, moral of the story, diabetes is expensive. Just wanted to check in and just talk about how yes, this stuff isn't easy, but I want to I don't know, I guess be real and kind of honest about it, because I think that the more I share, the more other diabetics share about the realities of diabetes, the more that hopefully the general public will kind of understand it and take it seriously. So I'll check in a little bit later. See ya. So I'll do about 41 carbs, and then this guy is 15. So we'll enter that into the pump and be on our way. So I'm probably going to close out the vlog here. Not much else going on. I'll do another couple of checks later on. Getting together with a friend at a coffee shop later, and I'll probably have a smoothie or something there, and then I usually have a little, well, maybe not a little, but I have a bedtime snack typically, so I'll usually check at bedtime and calibrate then. So I might check back in then, but since I want to be fully present and not staring at a camera on my phone when I'm with a friend, I probably won't drag this out for my little get together with her. So see y'all later. Otherwise, good night. Okay, hey guys, so one last thing before I close out the vlog for tonight. So I guess I am going to do a site change for you, because my reservoir is down to 0, so don't really want to go to bed with no insulin in the reservoir. So I'm going to go ahead and show you kind of what I do to do that. one last BG check, and then I'm going to sign off for the night. I hope you guys found this somewhat informative, just to see kind of what a day in the life of a type 1 diabetic is like on an insulin pump. So good night, and hopefully I'll be back with some more things to share with you at a later time.